Make room, Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. There's another 7-time champ. Jimmie Johnson wins his 7th NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship.
The 2024 NASCAR Hall of Fame ballot has been officially announced. The 3 guys who are going to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame starting in 2024, or they'll be inducted in 2024, was just announced, and there are no shocks on the modern era ballot. Let's get it out of the way. 7-time championship winning driver Jimmie Johnson and 7-time championship winning crew chief Chad Knaus are the modern era ballot nominees who are going to be in the Hall of Fame in 2024. The Pioneer era inductee will be Donnie Allison, member of the Alabama Gang. So yes, those are your 2024 Hall of Fame inductees for the Hall of Fame. As I said with the first 2, no shock. Jimmie Johnson, first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think there was any question that he was going to make it. Not unanimously, though. We have yet to have a unanimous NASCAR Hall of Fame member. Makes 0 sense to me. Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Jimmie Johnson should have been unanimous, if you ask me. But 4 voters did not think Jimmie Johnson was a Hall of Famer because either it's one of those deals where it's like, oh, everyone's going to vote them in, so I'm going to vote someone different. Or I don't know what the other reasoning would be. But for some reason, there were some people out there that said Jimmie Johnson was not worthy of a Hall of Fame ballot. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for him. But yes, 93% of the modern era ballot voted for Jimmie Johnson. That is 53 of the 57. Chad Knaus received 46 of the 57. And then Donnie Allison received 30 of the 57. That's 53% for Allison. So Knaus received 81%. Harry Gant finished 3rd in the modern era, followed by Ricky Rudd and Carl Edwards. Banjo Matthews finished 2nd in the Pioneer ballot. So to remind you who the nominees were for the Hall of Fame this year, we had Jimmie Johnson and Chad Knaus, who obviously were voted to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Also Neil Bonnet, Tim Brewer, Jeff Burton, Carl Edwards, Harry Gant, Harry Hyde, Larry Phillips, Ricky Rudd. And then the Pioneer ballot was Sam Ard, Donnie Allison, AJ Foyt, Banjo Matthews, Ralph Moody. And then for the Landmark Award, the Landmark Award winner was Janet Guthrie, who won it over Les Richter, Alvin Hawkins, Lisa France Kennedy, Dr. Joseph Mattioli. So yeah, that was that. So your Hall of Famers are Jimmie Johnson, Chad Knaus, Donnie Allison, and the Landmark Award winner was Janet Guthrie. But Jimmie Johnson and Chad Knaus we are all more familiar with, I would say, in terms of at least me. My age, my era of NASCAR, I guess you would call it. When I started watching in 2010, Jimmie Johnson was just at the tail end of his 5 consecutive NASCAR Cup Series championships. Of course, Chad Knaus, the crew chief, it makes 100% sense that they would go in together. You'd think of Chad Knaus, you think of Jimmie Johnson. You think of Jimmie Johnson, you also think of Chad Knaus. Those two go together. They were teamed up from 2002 to 2018, won 7 championships together, won 81 races together. Jimmie Johnson won 2 races without Knaus. Knaus won 1 race without Jimmie Johnson. So Jimmie Johnson had 83 wins. Knaus had 82 wins. But yes, obviously seeing them go in together is no shock. They're both first ballot worthy Hall of Famers. The success that they had on the track, as I said, 7 championships, over 80 wins for both of them, all with Hendrick Motorsports. It's no shock. Both these guys, well-deserving. Jimmie Johnson should have been unanimous, as I just said earlier in this video, but I had the honor and the pleasure, I guess you could call it, of getting to see them work together, getting to see Jimmie Johnson win 6 times at Texas Motor Speedway. It got old after a while. As a Jeff Gordon fan, I wanted to see Jeff Gordon win just once in person, but Jimmie Johnson had to win 6 times in front of me. Oh my goodness. He owned Texas from about 2012 to 2016. He won 4 straight fall races, I think, and then he won 2 spring races. So yeah, it was insane, the run they had at Texas. But yes, of course, as I said, the 5 consecutive championships from 06 to 2010. The other two in 2013 and 2016, tying Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt for the most NASCAR Cup Series championships. The wins, two Daytona 500s, 4 Brickyard 400s, Southern 500s, Coke 600s. They won it all, and well deserving of a Hall of Fame induction. Of course, Jimmie Johnson was founded by Jeff Gordon. Just a reminder, as I got the Jeff Gordon hat on. I got a Jimmie Johnson shirt on too, don't worry. But as a Jeff Gordon fan, I thought, need to remind you that Jeff Gordon did find Jimmie Johnson back in 2002, or before 2002. But Jeff Gordon got him a ride at Hendrick Motorsports in 2002. And in Jimmie Johnson's 13th start, he was able to get his first win at Auto Club. And then the ball started rolling. But yes, as I'm well aware, Jimmie Johnson won a lot of races. He won a lot of championships. Very well-deserving Hall of Famer. Chad Knaus as well. And then Donnie Allison, also a well-deserving Hall of Famer. A member of the Alabama gang, won 10 Cup Series races, I think. Obviously, I became a NASCAR fan in 2010, so I did not watch Donnie Allison race. But obviously a member of the Allison family. And one of the most iconic moments in NASCAR history, he was a part of it, the 1979 Daytona 500, where him and Cale Yarborough fought after crashing in that Daytona 500. But yes, Donnie Allison, the Pioneer Ballot. I'm sure a lot of you who watched him race, watched him back in the day race, went to see him race, know the Allison family, love the Allison family. I'm sure a lot of you are very happy about this induction into the Hall of Fame. But for me, I know more Jimmie Johnson, Chad Knaus getting into the Hall of Fame. And as I've said like 20 times on here, no shock there. That's the big story today. The other one is that Corey LaJoie is going to be extending with Spire Motorsports, a multi-year deal he announced today on the internet. And he did that video from Wolf of Wall Street where he said, like, I'm not leaving. So Corey LaJoie is going to stay with Spire, building something there. So we will see how that ends up going. Obviously, LaJoie's been doing extremely well there. Competed for the win last year at Atlanta. Has had a pretty good season so far. Improving his average finish and whatnot. Obviously, Spire, they've been a backmarker team for the most part, but slowly making their gains, especially with Corey LaJoie, who has been great behind the wheel. But as for the 77 car, still TBD. Will it be Ty Dillon? Will it be Carson Hocevar? Someone else? We are not sure yet. But yes, as for the other news, that's all I got. Yeah, so Jimmie Johnson, Chad Knaus, Donnie Allison will be in the Hall of Fame in 2024. Corey LaJoie extends with Spire. Yeah, so thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. I'm sure there will be more NASCAR news at some point. If not, we got the race at Michigan on Sunday. Hall of Fame. Share with me your favorite moment, each of these new Hall of Famers, Jimmie Johnson, Chad Knaus, and Donnie Allison. Tell me in the comments one of your favorite memories about them. So, yeah, thanks for watching.